Let me introduce myself first. Hello, everybody. Again, my name is Dimitra Makri. I am a refugee education coordinator from Ministry of Education in Greece. I am in this position for 7 years. Also, I am a founding member of the Integration Task Force of the Municipality of Larissa and a person in charge of the thematic cycle of the education of refugees and migrants of the University of Citizens. I'll try to give you, because Vice Mayor could not attend this conversation, this meeting today, because he is in Athens and he's trying to solve some problems about the refugees that live in Larissa. So I have to give you an idea of our city. What are we doing? What can we do about refugees? Because all the time, most of you, you used to say about migrants. In Greece, we talk about refugees. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay. Let me give you the status of refugees in Greece at a glance. From 2016, when the crisis, the refugee crisis, started in Greece, thousands of them came to Greece. First of all, they stayed at the camps, then the accommodation in refugee camps, from the tents to the containers, and at the same time, most of them, a vulnerable group of refugees moved to city apartments. And at this point that we are talking about, all the people that used to live in the city apartments, now they have, whether they have to go back to their countries or they have to go back again into their refugee camps. This is the situation in Greece at this time. We have some difficulties and some, if we can compare our profiles of the profile of Nordics and profiles of the profile of Greek, how refugees are held in your countries or in Greece. For us, for the way that we see, and then according to all of the histories, the refugees used to share with us in Greece, and Nordics is a destination, is their choice to start a new life and explore all the possibilities. And their legal status there in your countries are migrants. So they have solid base for making strategic policies for integration. Coming in Greece, not especially in Larissa, but in Greece, Greece is one of the thresholds of Europe, as you all know. It's not their choice. Their trip is still in progress as their lives. Most of them, the vast majority, are asylum seekers, and most of them wait up to 3 years for their documents. So we have two problems now in two levels. Most of them resist to the integration plans. In the sense of the degree of the commitment, And the other problem is the host society. People, they are neutral, from neutral up to defensive, start to hostile. They do not want the refugees to be along with them in their cities. And the other thing that is strongly that we fight strongly about is the fluidity. Policies are in vacuum because people come and go, come and leave all the time. This is the situation in Greece. What are we trying to do in municipality? Municipality of Larissa, we created the Larissa Learning City. Maybe with this frame, I can give you an idea how we work, and I can complement in this conversation that you have with Sana earlier. In Municipality of Larissa, We have Larissa Learning City, which is, Larissa is included one of the 16 cities from all over the world that they were awarded by UNESCO. And it is the first Greek city that participates in the international network of learning cities and the only one that has been awarded the relevant prize. Language, in this sense, emerges as a necessity of integration, of interaction in the procedure of acculturation and intercultural communication. So, informal language learning for refugees or migrants is carried out by the University of Citizens. What is the University of Citizens now? Is an innovative project which aims to intervene dynamically in the field of lifelong learning. With a high-level scientific approach, the Municipality of Larissa, with the participation of leading scientists from Greece and abroad, seeks the cooperation of the city's educational institutions with the aim of organizing a variety of educational programs with an emphasis on supporting vulnerable social groups. At the same time, the University of Citizens invites members of the local community to an interesting process of lifelong learning and personal development. In other words, we create flexible and open frameworks which interconnect place, resources, time, and people into synergies through informal language learning. Focusing into refugee differentiating needs, we facilitate the development of intercultural abilities aiming at cultivating the intercultural competence in parallel to natives, to host society, and refugees, immigrants, to ensure the social visibility. 4 years ago, the Mayor of City of Larissa, in accordance with the Vice Mayor of Social Policy and Education, invited 10 qualified specialists to join the task force for social inclusion. As a start, the committee of 10, we recorded refugees, social needs and psychosocial needs. The next step was to get in touch with stakeholders and discuss about their degree of availability and commitment for cooperation. This led to the designing of the strategic plan for social inclusion, which promotes, above all, the culture of self-enhancement with democratic procedure of communication. The projects of University of Citizens related to informal language learning emerged from the synergies of Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Migration, of Internal Affairs, international organizations and NGOs, local authorities, and Larissa Learning Cities agents. The design of projects. Here in our municipality, we design the projects. Mostly we design, and some of them, we have only one NGO in Larissa that is working with us. Okay, so the designing of project is functioning in at two levels. Working with host society through training in intercultural communication to meet the social needs of refugees in town and raising awarenesses about diversity and multiple identities. The second one is designing interrelated projects for informal language learning with formal education based on social profile of the refugees, their age, gender, their needs, their interests, their social pre-existing knowledge and skills. The main goal is to bring host society and the refugees in an intercultural meeting through common actions where all can be visible. The informal learning of language for us is not the first goal, it's an indirect goal, which is expected to be met through active involvement and participation. In this context, we're very much interested in diffusing all the collaborative actions so refugees may feel equal in the city, place, and time. For us, the designing of the informal language learning projects is based to specific theoretical frameworks. And we use specific methodological approaches. Underneath all the projects of the informal language learning activities is pedagogy of multiliteracies, critical pedagogy, and social and constructivist theories. First of all, we use two main strategies, that is holistic approach and culturally responsive teaching. Holistic approach of learning means that getting into workshops the whole family, from babies, mothers, and fathers. And culturally responsive teaching is incorporating students or families' cultural identities and lived experience in the classroom or outside the classroom, as you will see later, as tools for effective instruction. Other strategies are experiential learning and reciprocal learning. By experiential learning, the learning is undertaken by engaging children and parents in hands-on experiences and reflection. They are better able to connect theories and knowledge learned in the classroom to real-world situations. Informal learning cannot be isolated in the area of a classroom. If now we want to focus on the teaching of the school subject, there we have the content and language integrated learning model, which is an approach where students learn a subject and the second language at the same time. This means studying another subject, for example, science, history, or literature, and learning a language such as Greek at the same time, integrating the two subjects. And above all, it's the multimodal, it's the approach that we try to use to intrigue all the senses of the refugees to be engaged during learning. Let me give you some examples. What are we doing? What are the main activities that we have taken place in our city? Informal language learning by exploring in art galleries as classrooms for all ages from 6 up to 70 or 80, men and women. It's in kindergarten children in centers of creative employment, and given an example here in chess classes. Another project is learning by walking in town, whole family approach in museums, exhibitions, tours in the city, in libraries, in historical monuments. Through discovering. Here we have in our city, we have two shelters for unaccompanied minors, approximately 800 of them. So they discovered themselves, they discovered the city, and they interested through representative arts projects for them. Learning language by playing sports or by sharing our hobbies and cultivating soft skills. Continuing, learning to communicate by dance classes. Sharing our culture and meeting Greek culture. Learning by going out, especially in the summertime, by attending all the refugee children can attend city summer camp activities for all of the kids, not only, this is not for refugee children, but for the children from 6 up to 12. Another frame for learning language is reinventing our identities through parenting school courses. Of course, active citizenship, because they can attend the annual River Festival in Larissa, or they participate in cultural clubs and transforming them into immigrant integration centers for multicultural communities. And one last activity, one of the most popular activities, is that we enjoy small moments in our town, just like cycling nights. It's a project that took place 1 month ago. In a learning city, just like Larissa, you have the possibility to explore yourself through the other. This is how informal language learning takes place. Thank you, and tusen tack.
It's great, beautiful. Dimitra, thank you very much for a very interesting presentation.
Close it.
Yeah, you can click on the share screen button.
Yes, and stop share. Yes.
Stop share. Yes. Sorry. So, are there any questions from the room, or yes, again?
It was very interesting listening to your presentation, and especially the fact that you managed to reach this group that, as you say, are not very intent on learning because they are just in a phase of passing through.
Yes.
And I think even though Norway or the Nordic countries are destination countries, many people might still be in that mindset that they haven't completed their journey, or they didn't really want to come here, or so many still have that mindset for many years, so they think they will go back at some point,
Yes.
So I was just wondering, which factors do you contribute mostly to your success in this, and is it any type of activities or anything about the activities that you can see that really this group kind of are more interested in than others?
Our problem is that people change in accordance with about 3 or 4 months. They all attend the activities, okay? They attend. There is no problem for us to call them and not to attend. But after 3 months, they leave. So we try here to prepare a situation that it is always active for the people that come and go. It's quite different for you from your place. Yes.
Yeah. So they kind of move on to a different.
Move on all the time. Yes.
But I think it's still admirable that you manage to keep them busy and occupied while they are there. I think that sounds very good, and the different activities that you have is quite similar to the activities that we do in Norway in my organization.
Our motto here in Greece is that as long as you are in our country, your children, according to the children's human rights, have to be at school, and you as a parent I have to engage you, okay, in your kids' life. So you have to communicate with us to let us help you as long as you are in Greece. This is our motto, you know. This is our only option. We cannot have long-term projects here. Because for most of them, they want to learn English or German language or French. They do not want to learn Greek.
So how do you deal with that from the point of view of, I mean, you said, of course, they're still in Greece, so they should be learning Greek. For that purpose. But are you also sort of allowing or encouraging the other languages that they maybe think that they are moving towards?
The thing that we try to do is that we want to cultivate their communicational aptitudes up to this. They do not want to attend school. We have almost 12,000 refugee children in Greece, and most of them know that they will go. They always tell us, please teacher, I want to learn German, I want to learn French. Okay, so we try to learn them, to make them learn communicative Greek, and then we give them the opportunity to attend English classes or German classes because they want that.
So one other thing that I wanted to ask you, these activities, these many activities that you gave examples of.
Some of the activities, Henry, these are some of the activities.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
So many activities, believe me, so many activities, and all of them are organized by me as a representative of Ministry of Education and the framework of the cities of the University of Citizens. This is the place. We do not have here NGOs. In Larissa, there is only one NGO, the Danish Refugee Council, that try through UNICEF to provide to us some money to support the children that go to school for formal education. Apart from that, we actually struggling through the money that has the municipality.
Is it voluntary work? The leaders for all the different groups, are they volunteer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I am a teacher. Yes, I am a teacher, you know. I'm a teacher. I'm a refugee education coordinator from the Ministry of Education, but the other two things that I do for 7 years now, it's in volunteer. I'm a volunteer. All of us are volunteers.
But then that's a big volunteer organization. That's a big, those are a lot of volunteer activities that you have.
And this is all going out from the Larissa Learning City. Okay, so many projects that people attend in Larissa, from Larissa, Greek people, and now from the University of Citizens, we created another sphere, biotic sphere, that I am in charge about this, about refugee education. I wanted to ask you something. Some of you, Henrik, talk about, let me see my notes here, about language council.
Language council?
What is this language council that you have mentioned?
I probably used the wrong translation. I was speaking about the Magnus, so he can correct the translation and exactly what they do.
So I work at the Swedish Language Council.
It is the Swedish Language Council.
Yes.
Okay. So, so you can explain to Dimitra what your role is in general with the Swedish Language Council.
Yeah, so we are a part of the government, so the Swedish government. So we are in one of the agencies of the Swedish government, and we work with Swedish and also the national minority languages and the Swedish Sign Language. And we do this by promoting them in different ways. We have people who are competent in these languages and try to provide advice on how to use the language. Also, we have like outreach activities for the minority languages, which is a fairly recent development. We got money for this year. So, and then also we work with we work with other non-national minority, like immigrant languages, only in the way that we like sort of monitor them, but like to have an idea of how they are used and so on in Swedish society. Also to provide, for example, one of the largest products we have is a large Swedish dictionary for immigrants that is available for about 20 languages. So mainly large immigrant languages. And what more things do we do? We do language policy things.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention on what you mentioned there about the dictionaries, and that's the origin of the connection also between us at Språkkraft with the Language Council, is that these dictionaries were also where we started when we developed our digital tools that support the media integrated language learning. So that's been very helpful to us as an organization wanting to develop tools like that the Language Council has an interest in making sure that the resources they have at hand are used for practical purposes.
Yes, so this dictionary is available as open data. So everyone, but it is a Swedish dictionary that has translations to other languages.
Yes.
It's not really a bilingual dictionary. It's a Swedish dictionary, but with translation to Greek, which is quite large immigrant group in Sweden. But most recently it has been, for example, countries in Eastern Africa. We have added languages from like Persian and Pashto and other important immigrant groups.
Thank you very much. Can I ask something else to say?
I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
Now, who runs the language cafe that you said?
The language cafe.
Yes.
You mentioned you said language cafe.
That I
Okay.
mentioned.
This is Susanna.
Sana, please.
Yes, so it is a local NGO, a rather small local NGO that runs this language cafe, and they focus a lot upon talking about how to look for jobs, how to write applications, and such. Yeah.
So I think that when we use the word NGO here, also we're talking about anything from the major, assisting organizations to very small, like local clubs who get together to do a certain very specific activity for that local area. So we use that term broadly to do.
Thank you.